So, I said that I'm going to start the YouTube channel when I hit 2000 followers, but I got my new lens after a few days ago and I couldn't abstain. Speaking of Instagram, if you're not coming from there, make sure to follow me there because we need almost 200 more followers to hit that goal. Coming back to the lens, I'm going to do a short review, and even though I opened the box a few days ago so I could play with the lens at the weekend, I'm going to unbox it so you'll get used to the unboxing experience. So, opening the box from the side, you will find in the bottom part of the box all the manuals and instructions. And in the upper part of the box we have the lens. So we have to take off this piece of cardboard, and now the lens is revealed. We're going to take it out, and this is the lens, which is protected by bubble wrap, and in the wrap you will find the lens hood. And then there's the lens that's closed to the both sides, so you will have that extra protection for your glass. The Sony SEL55210 is an entry-level OSS, which stands for optical steady shot, and it's nothing more than Sony's optical stabilization that's built in the lens. And it's very effective and helpful, especially when you don't have a stabilized sensor on your camera and you're zooming in. The lens is priced around $300 and you can get it in two color variants. One is the one that I have here, is the black one, and the other one is in black and gray. The black one is usually more expensive. For the size, this lens is very light, and on it you will find the focal length ring, which is the bigger one, and you can see it really scoops out, and the smaller ring is the ring for the manual focus when you're using it. On it you will find the focal length, which is from 55 to 210 millimeters, because it's an E-mount lens designed for APS-C sensors that have 1.5 times crop. It will behave as an 82 to 315 millimeter lens on a full frame camera. For the past weekend, what can I say, is a great lens. You can use it for photographing wildlife, landscapes, portraits, and it's even good in low light. It's not the best, but it's good. Still, for an entry-level budget lens, even in low light, it's very impressive. The one thing I haven't tried yet is astrophotography, which I'm going to try these days. And one major obstacle that I'm gonna face when doing astrophotography with this lens is the small aperture. With that said, I'm going to leave the photos I managed to capture this weekend. I'm going to post them on my Instagram, so make sure you follow me there. I will also post the astrophotography results, and at the end of this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and by the next video we should have a good time.